Welcome to this video on the Union step in Tableau Prep. You can download the dataset and packaged flow file underneath the video to follow along in your own copy of Tableau Prep. We're working with data for best-selling books. Performing a union lets you combine data from multiple tables by bringing in new rows or records that match the structure of the original data. That is, the fields or columns are the same. For example, if we have multiple weeks of bestseller data as individual files and want to create a unified data source of all the weeks together, we can do a union. If we want to union tables with the exact same structure or schema, a wildcard union allows us to perform the union during the input step, if we're using flat files. This keeps the flow tidy and simplified by adding a single data input to the flow, even if it's made up of lots of tables behind the scenes. We'll add a data connection to an Excel file, and we'll choose February 28th. Bring a table to the flow, and in the Input step, click to the Multiple Files tab, and then choose Wildcard Union. Here, the file contains 7 sheet tabs for 7 different bestseller lists, as seen over in the Connections pane. A wildcard union requires all files to be of the same type, all Excel or all CSV, for example. By identifying a pattern to define what content to include, multiple tables can be unioned automatically. Note that there is no ability to perform a merge on mismatched fields with a wildcard union. We can set which folder to search in, including subfolders or not, set whether to include or exclude the files that match our pattern, and specify the pattern itself. If we want to include any files in the same folder that start with ABA bestsellers, we can simply remove everything but those words and add an asterisk instead. Below, note that we're currently looking at 1 file and 7 sheets, but when I hit Enter to apply this matching pattern, we now have 9 files and 37 sheets. We can also set the pattern for sheets that we want to include or exclude, such as only bringing in sheets for trade paperback fiction or nonfiction by using the pattern Trade with an asterisk, and again hitting Enter or Apply. But we'll undo all that and go back to the default, which is just this file and all the sheets inside it. Regardless of how broadly or narrowly we define the wildcard union, note that 2 fields are added to the list of fields automatically. Table names will convey the table or sheet tab name, and file paths will convey the original file path. This helps keep track of where the data is coming from. To perform a union outside of a wildcard union during the input step, we can add a union step to the flow. We need to have at least 2 inputs or steps to union together. Here, we have 4 weeks' worth of bestseller data. To perform a union in the flow, we can add a union from a plus menu, selecting Add Union, and dragging a step to it. Or we can drag one step onto another, choosing the drop area for New Union. Unlike a join, which can only support 2 tables, a union can be made up of many tables. Simply drag another table to the union, choosing the Add drop area. Selecting New Union would add a subsequent union step to the flow. The union step in the flow opens the configuration pane below. The left side offers a summary. It shows the inputs and resulting fields. Here we see there are 2 mismatched fields. Over to the right, we see the union results. The colored bars on the field cards match the inputs and show us where the data in these fields are coming from. We can quickly see that the info field is missing the week of the 14th. And we have an information column from just that week. Clearly, these should be the same field. To make it a little easier to see, let's check the Show Only Mismatch fields. Now we see just these 2 fields, and we can resolve the issue by merging them. Simply drag one card onto the other. I want the field to be named Info, so I'm bringing information onto info. Now there are no longer any mismatched fields. Unchecking the box shows us the full results again, and we can see each card has all 4 color bars. The exception is this table names one field. Tableau Prep created this field for us so we can see where the data came from. This field is redundant information with the original table names and file paths from the wildcard unions and the input steps, so we can remove this field. We can't do it from the union step. We need to add a cleaning step, and then we can remove that field. Now we have clean, consistent data for all 4 data sources combined into one data set. Thank you for watching this video on the union step in Tableau Prep. We invite you to continue with the free training videos to learn more about using Tableau.